HBO has released more images for the first couple episodes of Game of Thrones Season 7. More importantly, a Spanish website called Y Catalera has released a 16-minute video in which they explain the process of dubbing Game of Thrones in another language. Now, in that video, at one point, they show this guy who's basically standing in front of them and he's got, the script written down and he's probably dubbing over what appears to be a trailer. And in that trailer, we get another shot of that scene in the first trailer they posted where Melisandre is looking over what appears to be like an edge and she can see someone walking up the steps of Dragonstone down below. There's another shot. We see Varys walk up beside her. What the f does this mean for Game of Thrones Season 7? All of this was brought to my attention by an article published by winteriscoming.net. There's a link to that article directly down below in the description, which will take you there and you can check it out for yourself. I believe this scene actually takes place in episode 3, and that episode is going to be called The Queen's Justice. If you would like a more in-depth breakdown of all the first 3 episodes and their descriptions along with their titles, you can actually click the link right up here and that'll take you to that video I did a few days back. But from that description, we can take away the line that Daenerys holds court. Obviously, since Melisandre is walking up and looking down at someone arriving, I initially thought that it could have been Daenerys, but now we know it's confirmed to be Jon Snow. Varys would not have already walked up and almost as if like he followed Melisandre out there. So it seems like they've already been acquainted. Melisandre was not shocked to see him walk up beside her. We do know that Varys left to Dragonstone with Daenerys, so it would make sense that Daenerys has already arrived at Dragonstone and she settled in. So I think this will be episode 3 because from the description we know that Daenerys holds court. So obviously she's received word that Jon Snow arrived on her shores and she's going to hold Jon Snow in court. Now, this makes sense because Melisandre did look a tad bit worried and it's almost like she's feeling a bit of anxiety for when Jon Snow shows up and he could burst her bubble. I think what may happen is Melisandre may run and take off the troker and reveal her true form, but I think what more than likely will happen is that she will stay in her Melisandre form and Davos will attempt to maybe try to call her out, but technically Jon Snow can't get pissed off because he said if I see you up north, I'll lynch you. She's not up north. She's in Dragonstone. She's as far south as King's Landing. So I think it will be interesting to see the reaction between the two of them. I do think that Davos will fall in his old ways, and maybe Jon will be the one to step up and be like, look, Davos, we banished her from Winterfell. She went south. You can't be pissed off that she went to one of the only places she knows as her home. You know what I mean? Where else was she going to go? So, Jon Snow will likely be like, look, we're here to get Dragonglass. That's what's the most important, and kind of put Davos in check. It is interesting that Melisandre and Varys are comfortable with each other. We do know that Varys hates everything about magic, and maybe his encounter with Kinvara last season has made him a little bit more, accepting of this. She kind of put him in his place. And also, we do know that Melisandre is a damaged woman. She was completely broken. She brought back Jon Snow. She started to get built back up. We had the Battle of the Bastards. And then afterwards, she's torn down again by this King of the North who sends her south of the wall. So I think that since they are both a little bit, have some damage and some baggage hanging with them, maybe they bond over that. And it will be interesting to see them sharing knowledge with each other. Perhaps Varys can learn all about the oncoming threat of the White Walkers since he's got a huge, massive spy network, but he doesn't seem to know that there's a looming threat of White Walkers coming. I feel like if he did know, he should be telling Daenerys that, maybe this war for Westeros will mean nothing unless we go and stop the oncoming threat of fucking death for everyone. For the new images we received, the first one is what looks like Tyrion and Daenerys walking around the throne room inside Dragonstone. If you notice, there's a lot of like hay on the floor and other dirt, so this is definitely from the first episode. They haven't had a chance to clean anything up. The next shot we get is actually of episode 2, and I love these panned out shots we're getting from underneath the Crypts of Winterfell. We do know that their CG budget hasn't just gone into bigger dragons. You know what I mean? We get these more panned out shots that are showing you how massive these crypts underneath Winterfell are. Now I'm gonna go ahead and say that it looks like Jon Snow is visiting his Aunt Lyanna. He could be down there visiting Ned, or this could be right after he's laid Rickon to rest, so he's just in general down in the Crypts of Winterfell. Looks like from this next shot we get from episode 2 that this is that scene from the initial trailer where Jon Snow was shown slamming Littlefinger up against the wall. So I think this is confirming that theory that Littlefinger may try to advise Jon or hint towards him that his parents aren't who he thinks they are. So imagine Jon Snow's down there after he just slayed Rickon to rest. Littlefinger walks up and he's like, so you think you're a bastard? And that's where Jon Snow slams him up against the wall. He's probably not really trying to listen to what he has to say. I hope Jon Snow's reaction to Littlefinger telling him that his parents probably aren't who he thinks they are is something like this guy, Alex Jones.
And I watch this country and the world turned over to these savages. I'm done, I'm pissed, and I'm not putting up with it anymore.
Oh man, he's fucking hilarious. The question is, how successful is this dude at getting out his words before he's slammed by the King of the North? We are given 2 more shots of Littlefinger, what appears to be in the Winterfell courtyard. He's looking, kind of somber. He always looks sad in most of these shots from all the characters, the main cast included. In Game of Thrones Season 7, they all look somber, but there's only one phrase that can be said for the reason why, and that's winter is here. And I think they're all starting to get the right idea that this is not going to end happily, and everyone's going to start dropping like flies. I will say that this could be the moment when Bran shows up to Winterfell, or when Arya shows up to Winterfell, because in Baelish's mind, he's thinking, hey, I have another fucking Stark to deal with. These last couple shots are from episode 3, and we have, a shot of Grey Worm, and he seems to be not at Dragonstone, because if you notice behind him, that's like white stone pillars. And if it's from episode 3, I think that Daenerys will fully be making her moves. So this could be the episode where Grey Worm and the Unsullied take Casterly Rock. The episode is called The Queen's Justice, so this could mean that both queens will get some sort of justice. Cersei being that she gets the Sand Snakes, and she gets to repay the debt that is owed, and Lannisters always pay their debt. This time it's not gold, it's death. This will likely be the episode where she kills Ellaria, or is about to kill Ellaria. Basically, she gets Ellaria in her custody, and this could also be an episode where Daenerys has a major win by taking Casterly Rock. So basically, the Lannisters have nowhere to run, and they're screwed. The last shot we're given is of a polished up Dragonstone throne, which is awesome because we know Daenerys is going to be holding court in this episode. So if Jon Snow shows up and they meet for the first time, so I don't think Daenerys should have a dirty house when she meets her future husband. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. Please make sure you're subscribed, slap a like on this video, and then go ahead and turn your notifications on for my channel so you get notified whenever I drop Game of Thrones content. I will be going live after the Game of Thrones Season 7 premiere airs on Sunday, July 16th at 9 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. I will be live right at 10 o'clock. Please make sure you are subscribed so that you can catch me and my initial reaction / breakdown to the video. I hope to see you all there. The like goal for this video will be 150. If you would like to enter my contest to win this lovely Daenerys Dark Horse figurine, all you have to do to enter that contest for once I reach 10,000 subscribers here on YouTube is like this video, make sure you're subscribed, and then leave a comment down below. My name's Mark, and this has been Sir Hunt's Reviews.